first football season without his mother supporting him along the way. Since his days in Franklin Park, Illinois, Mike Shanahan's mother backed him all the way.
Our family was pretty close, but she kind of supported whatever you did. She was always the person, whatever you did, do it right and stick with it.
When Shanahan lost a kidney after the hit he suffered in that spring football game at Eastern Illinois, Dorothy Shanahan may have been the one who got her son into coaching a little sooner than expected.
You know, I told her I was going to petition because I still wanted to play my junior and senior year, or really my senior year, because I was redshirted the year. And she even supported me there. She didn't think I was very smart, but she said, if you feel like that's what you should do, go ahead, but I think you'd be a little bit smarter if you wanted to coach you.
It's no surprise Mike Shanahan is tough. His mom taught him an important lesson.
I think she always thought that, you know, she raised you to work through those tough times, you know. She always said, hey, tough times, you know, they don't last. Tough people do. And I've always used that saying that if you work through something, that sooner or later they're going to disappear. But if you quit, you know, go after something head on, and you go around it, problems are going to get worse.
Rheumatoid arthritis kept Dorothy from attending the back-to-back Super Bowl championships, but she kept up with her favorite player, John Elway, and the rest of her Broncos.
I mean, she knew our football team better than I did. I mean, she knew where everybody was from. She knew how many kids they had and where they went to school. And, you know, I would go home and start talking about the team, and she'd tell me so many things I didn't know. I mean, she very well read.
Even when she was staring death in the face, Dorothy Shanahan remained strong.
She said, hey, she always told me, even right before she died, she goes, hey, remember, someday it's going to happen to everybody. It's going to happen to you. And she knew she was going. She knew she was going. And she said, I'm going to have the best life in the world. Someday you'll join me.
Her battle with rheumatoid arthritis ended last spring.
Oh, she knows how I feel about her. And, you know, the type of support that, you know, she gave me and my kids and my family. But ultimate respect, loving mom, you know, even though it was 3 months ago, you know, you think back and it's the finality of it, you know. It's hard.
You know, Shanahan's father, Ed, was at training camp this year, and for the first time, he got to watch practice with his son leading the troops as head coach, and he knows his wife is with their son in spirit this season. Very moving.
It's been a love affair for 40 years, from their early days in the AFL to their rise to the top of the NFL. The Broncos have enjoyed one of the strongest fan bases in all of football. Now, as they get set to kick off their first season in this new millennium, the Broncos love the future. A new state-of-the-art stadium next fall, of course, leaving Mile High Stadium in a cloud of dust. Kind of like the old football saying, a few yards in a cloud of dust. But in this next hour, we're going to take a look back to their humble beginnings and work our way back up to the present. It all started here, of course, in Golden at the Colorado School of Mines, as 9 News sports reporter Blake Olson kicks off 40 years in a cloud of dust.
11 months after the Denver Broncos became one of the charter members of the American Football League,
Denver's first experience in professional football,
the first two-a-day practices kicked off in 1960 in the foothills west of Denver, the School of Mines.
Well, right now, I think we're way ahead of anything the Cardinals had, and I'm looking forward to a good season from what I've seen so far.
Players slept in cots, and it was a lot like basic training.
We had 125 guys in that building, man, on Army cots and stuff like that. And it was fun. It was fun. I mean, you know, we didn't know what was going to take place, but the two-a-days were hell.
Gene Mingle was a great example of what the outcast AFL was all about. One of the many who just wanted a chance to play.
I wrote to the Broncos, and not being a good speller, I took the letter to my sister, and she went through the letter with me, and she corrected my spelling and everything, and we mailed it to the Broncos, and they sent me a contract. Dean Griffin sent me a contract for $6,500.
Mingo was about to get cut before the Broncos found out he could kick.
And Mingo splits the uprights for
He became the first black kicker in pro football and actually ran back a punt for the first winning touchdown in the very first AFL game ever. On the road in Boston.
quarter. Gene Mingo electrified the crowd of better than 20,000 with a magnificent 76-yard punt return down.
Ironically, he missed the point after.
You're talking about running scared, man running scared. I don't know if I was running scared, but I was tired as hell when I got to that end zone. I realized I had to kick the extra point, and I lined up, and when I got ready to kick that, my legs went rubber on me, and I kicked one of the biggest divots out of the ground, and the ball didn't make it through.
Denver's quarterback Frank Tripucka was supposed to be a coach, but wound up playing.
Suddenly, Tripucka hit in Lionel Taylor with a pass in the end zone.
His favorite target was Lionel Taylor, and at times, the two would ad-lib play.
That's what you tell me. Go out and get open. I could run an inside hook, outside hook, or whatever I wanted, and I'd get away from the defense, and the ball would be on the way. And, you know, that's the kind of guy he was. He was fantastic. He was funny, too.
But Tripucka wasn't as funny as the uniform the Broncos had to wear. Mustard and brown with vertical stripes on the socks. And they heard all the chuckles.
I think that inspired us to go and try harder on the field, because here comes the clown. Look at those vertical socks. Look at that. Ooh, look at that ugly uniform. You know, who would wear something like that? La-di-da, this and that. It was bad, man.
In '62, they held a public burning of the socks and the uniform. And then, the owner, Bob Howsam, held a fashion show, and assistant equipment manager Ronnie Bill was there.
Models to go down on the field and walk around these different colors, jerseys and pants. And everybody stood up on the top of Bear Stadium at that time. And, well, they liked this one, they liked that one, you know. And I thought they were going to go to green and white, and they didn't. They went to orange.
Bear Stadium, where tens of thousands viewed some of the most entertaining football played anywhere.
Bears Stadium was the home for the orange and blue, and home of the AAA Denver Bears. Small time to some, but not to the Broncos. Anything was better than War Memorial in upstate New York.
You play Buffalo Bills at that time. You had lost the game before you got on the field, because you had to come out, walk through the fans with your headgear, and they beat on your shoulder pads and slap you upside the head. Now, you had to go back in after the warm-up. They beat on you again. And the third time, you had to get ready to go play. You were shell-shocked by the time you came out. You came out like this, the headgear like this, and they just boom, boom. I mean, on your shoulder pads and on your headgear. That was great. We hated to play. That was the worst thing, was the fans. The game was easy. You could get through the fans. The game was a snap.
That was Taylor's second game of the year in 1960. He went on to lead the AFL in receptions for 5 straight years. Taylor could do it all.
It's a diving, juggling catch by the great end, and another Denver touchdown. The Broncos.
He held the team record for most receptions and receiving yardage until the '99 season. And he caught almost everything that came his way.
It only hurts half as much if you catch the ball. If you don't catch and the guy hits you, it really hurts. But if you make the catch, let me tell you, hey, I did my thing. You know, I got a chance to make the catch.
Now there's a better way to adjust your day. New Zest Body Wash. Turn up the mood, the fragrance. Turn up the freshness, the lather to maximum. Increase the clean. Now how refreshing is that? This is not soap. This is New Zest Body Wash. Rainforest Adventure, Sunspray Fresh, Energy Rush, Fiesta Splash, Zestfully Clean, refreshingly different.
Yeah. Crack.
Feel love, feel like a bomb. Feel love, feel like a bomb. Feel like divinely, deliciously devouring.
If you love cheese, serious cheese, it's Kraft Deluxe Macaroni and Cheese.
Double amnesia.
Andy.
The Domino's Heat Wave bag.
So, too sick to make deliveries, huh?
For really hot delivered pizza.
170. That's hot.
Domino's. That, Andy. Good pizza.
Introducing the Dominator, a 16-inch extra-large pizza with your favorite topping for only $8.99. That's 30% more pizza than our large for just $8.99. Call now.
The late 60s marked a time of change for the Broncos. They moved their facilities north to a new location here at 57th and I-25. This used to be the old locker room. They finally signed a #1 draft pick. They changed the color of their helmets from orange to blue and the logo on the sides. The AFL merged with the NFL, and Old Bear Stadium was officially renamed Mile High Stadium. In October of '65, the $400,000 quarterback came to Denver. Nearly 35,000 fans packed Bears Stadium to see Joe Namath of the Jets.
34,988 turns out.
At that time, it was the largest crowd ever to see a sporting event in Colorado.
Now, I'm in the big league. Made a little score, signed a bonus, right? We come to Denver. They take us down on the field. We walk around. They say, all right, where's the locker room? They say, over there and shoot 4. Shoot? It's a rodeo place, Joe. You know, they use it for football, too. I said, oh, okay. We go into the locker room. The floors are dirt, brown dirt. And I said, well, wait a minute. This is big league, right? Football league. I was stunned.
But despite the primitive visiting locker rooms, the Broncos were flying from city to city, feasting on steak dinners.
Fast, comfortable, luxurious flights with United Airlines.
Jerry and Alan Phipps purchased majority ownership of the club, and Lionel Taylor continued to open eyes around the country with his 500th career catch and 5th AFL receiving crown.
The game has stopped, and Coach Max Speedy comes onto the field to present Lionel with a treasured souvenir of the occasion.
I didn't think the American Football League would survive. And I figured I could go over there, I could make a name in the American Football League. I could go back to the National Football League and make some money, you know. And so, but it turned out the greatest thing ever happened to me. You know, the league did survive.
The AFL thrived because of Broncos like Taylor, safety Goose Gonsolin, and Bob Scarpetto, who seemed like he ran for more first downs on fakes than he actually punted.
But when New York doesn't rush the punt, Scarpetto runs.
Scraps, we call him Scraps, and he's back there, take off, and he was running against San Diego, and their team is running down the field, and he's running right behind them, you know, and they don't even know it, that he's running. He runs a whole touchdown. He was good at that. He had a good sense for that.
In '66, Lou Saban became the head coach after the AFL merged with the NFL, and just before the Broncos moved their facilities to 58th and I-25. Then in the '67 draft, Denver picked a bow-legged All-American running back from Syracuse.
So when I got the call, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Denver?
But Floyd Little fell in love with Denver and became the Broncos' first #1 pick to sign with the team.
Man, it was so beautiful in Denver. I could not believe it. It must have been in the 80s, man. It was like, oh, this is nice. It was clean. It was flat. I mean, it was like, this is beautiful.
It may have only been a preseason game in Little's rookie season, but the Broncos beat the Detroit Lions 13-7 at BU, becoming the first AFL team ever to beat an NFL squad. It was also Rich Tombstone Jackson's rookie season.
Emerson Bruiser finds that it's difficult to run with a 255-pound Jackson.
They called me Stonewall. And then I guess I was too tough to be called Stonewall, so they called me Tombstone, because they say, well, you know, once I hit the guy, he was destined to death, more or less.
A knee injury forced him out of the game after only 6 seasons, but he was the first Bronco on the all-NFL first team, and many believe he was the best defensive end ever.
And I just like to hit people, and I like to go hard, and I try to keep myself in superb condition.
And when the late Paul Smith teamed up with Tombstone on the other side, quarterbacks never had a chance.
I mean, Paul was never, he was never one to come in and lift weights and pump and, you know, bulk. You know, he'd come in and go, hey, y'all ready to go? You know, but when he hit the field, I mean, he was relentless.
The Bronco front four often gave opposing quarterbacks and runners the taste of a high country stampede.
In '68, rookie defensive back Marlon Briscoe wrote a clause in his contract when he came to Denver that said they would have to give him a 3-day trial at quarterback. After 3 games, Steve Tenzie got hurt, and Briscoe's hamstring was hurting.
And I looked in the locker, and I had this number 15 stuck in my locker. I'm trying to figure out. Well, I figured I had gotten cut, and they had brought a quarterback in. And just as I turned around, Lou Saban came up from behind me and said, my friend, that was the term he always used. He said, you're now a quarterback. And I jumped up, I mean, my heart jumped up out of my chest, and actually, my hamstring healed at that moment.
This is quarterback Marlon Briscoe.
Go, Marlon! Briscoe became the first black starting quarterback in pro football.
Next time, the screen is open, too. I know. Okay.
The accolades they give a guy like Jackie Robinson, who opened up the doors for baseball. There's only one first, you know, and to be put in that elite class is something I can live with for the rest of my life.
Briscoe went on to electrify Bronco fans with all his talent and set a club record that still stands today. Most touchdown passes by a rookie quarterback with 14.
He brought additional excitement to the Bronco attack.
And even though he was only here for 1 season before Saban traded him, Briscoe cherishes the Mile High City.
I don't think in 1968 had I played for the New York Jets, the Oakland Raiders, and the Chargers, it would have never happened. It could have only happened in Denver, Colorado.
That same year, construction began on a 16,000-seat upper deck. Bears Stadium became Mile High, and the future looked bright in '69 when Billy Thompson became the first rookie to lead the NFL in both punt and kick returns.
A feat never before achieved by anyone.
Well, you can bank your way every night and every day. You can bank online where the banking's always fine. It's a great way. Oh, yeah, it's a personal way. It's the Confed way. Banking the great, great way.
Get free checking with no minimum balance and get $10. Commercial Federal, a great way to bank.
It's the Confed way. Banking the great, great way.
911 saves lives. Call if you feel pressure or pain in your chest, shoulders, arm, or neck. If you're nauseous, sweating, or out of breath, all warning signs of a heart attack. For information, go to 9news.com and click on the American Heart Association.
This year, the U.S. Olympic team will put the world's best to the test. And this summer, Cadillac invites you to put its best to the test during the Cadillac U.S. Olympic Countdown. And now you can get a 2000 Escalade with an onboard rear seat entertainment system with a flip-down monitor, video cassette player, and more. Obviously, it's the right time and the right opportunity. The power of and, the fusion of design and technology. Cadillac.
Frontier Airlines is expanding again. Go to 9news.com and click on Frontier Airlines and discover where your hometown airline can take you today.
Sky 9 News and Traffic from Colorado's news leader.
In the early 70s, the Broncos just felt lucky that Floyd Little was still on the team. 2 years earlier, Lou Saban actually fired Little after he fumbled. But Little returned from the locker room, refused to leave the field, and told Marlon Briscoe,
Marlon, I got one shot to redeem myself. Throw it to the south stands. I don't care where you throw it. I'll get it. He said, Floyd, I don't know. I said, hey. He said, what kind of route you gonna run? I said, don't worry about it. Just throw it as far as you can throw it. I don't route. Just throw it. He said, well, they ain't gonna be in the prevent defense. I said, I don't care. Just throw it as far as you can throw it. I'll get it. I says, I'll just go out, run a route out, and I'll just run right down the field. And you just haul off and throw it as far as you can. He said, okay. So next thing I know, I see him rolling out. I'm like, well, I'm running down the field, and he's rolling out. I'm like, where is he going? Next thing you know, you see this rocket come out of that pile up. You know, I think it was like 60-some odd yards. I think you see it.
The Broncos won the game, but Saban was waiting for Little as he entered the locker room.
He says, come here, man. I said, what the hell do you want? He says, I'm going to give you one more week. And for the rest of my time, that's where I stayed. I got one stay of execution for a week.
2 years later, he led the AFC.
Now this is when you find out what kind of football team we have. Find out how badly we want to play the game.
Okay! In '73, the Broncos were unable to beat the Raiders in their first Monday night game ever.
With 7 seconds remaining, Jim Turner's field goal attempt is good.
But settled for a 23-23 tie at Mile High. And the 12-year vet led the Broncos to their first ever winning season with a 7-5-2 record.
You have to give me a minute.
It was emotional for everybody. Little, Haven Moses, Riley Odoms, and Paul Smith were headed to the Pro Bowl. Ralston was named Coach of the Year, and Johnson will never forget the fans.
A bunch of wild and crazy people that are growing here.
But the most memorable day at Mile High for Johnson was Little's final game.
I wanted to leave the fans that's been very supportive and very generous to me and my family with the best that I can leave them with.
It was also Johnson's final game, and he and his teammates used to call Little folks, short for old folks.
Charlie said, folks, what do you want? What do you want, folks? I said, Charlie, I said, let's do a screen pass. I said, you guys, you set up and you get somebody. I'm going all the way on this, pal. Sure enough, Charlie set it up, they sprung out there and they threw it out there, and I can remember running. I could see Haven busting his butt to get in front of me to get a block. These guys are scrambling around. Bobby gets a block on the line. He gets up off the ball. He runs over and get another block. I mean, here's a guy blocked twice in the same play. I mean, you could just tell.
And I threw a little pass to him from the south end, a little short one. And he ran 95 yards or something with it for a touchdown. That was it.
I had this cape on. Ralston had his arms around me, and I was like, I had lost it. As the time ticked away, it was like my life ticking away. I was crying like a baby, man. It was so emotional that I would never play for these people again, and I would never play this game that I love so much ever again in this stadium. And it was tough. It was tough to not play in Mile High Stadium again. But it was Mile High that I was a part of help build it, from Bear Stadium to the bond issue to going out getting the people to support it and to build that stadium to 76,000 strong. And this was my stadium, and I'm never playing it again. And thank you for being there to support me, and thank the fans, and I'm done. And it was hard. Came and swooped me up and carried me off the field. I mean, there's something to remember. Something to remember.
Honey, can you just pick a channel, please?
MSN Internet Access.
How about some sort of sport thing? What about
16:9 digital TV.
Going on
And a digital camcorder for catching all of those first steps.
Turn on the fun,
That's my boy.
Open up to a whole new fresh feeling.
Open up to a fresh new idea from Bounce with new Bounce Fabric Refresher.
Open your world and let freshness flow through.
Bounce sprays odors out and leaves a gentle freshness throughout your home every day.
It's a wonderful freedom, making the fresh feeling stay. Doesn't it feel good to make a fresh start today?
New Bounce Fabric Refresher, the start of something fresh.
The courtesy cars are here, Colorado. The pros at the International at Castle Pines drove 200 luxurious new Buicks, official cars of the tournament. Now, Buick has made these limited mileage cars available to dealers at exceptional discounts. Plus, you'll get up to $3,000 closeout cash on select courtesy cars and select new 2000 Buicks. Hurry to your participating Colorado Buick dealer. With up to $3,000 closeout cash, these 2000 model Buicks will soon be gone.
Otis Armstrong, Riley Odoms, and punt returner Rick Upchurch picked up where Little left off. And a close-knit defense was being talked about around the NFL. The group so close, they held hands in the huddle.
Because Ray May was the middle linebacker at that point, you know, the holding in the hands kind of thing, and I thought that was a little strange, but that was already set in stone when I came.
After a 9-5 season, John Ralston resigned and former assistant Red Miller took over. The Broncos traded for veteran quarterback Craig Morton, who is finding one of his new receivers, Haven Moses, consistently.
Moses at the 5, he will score.
All of a sudden, the Broncos were undefeated at 5-0 when they went into Oakland.
Stabler in the end zone, rolling to his right, looking a flag down as the pass is intercepted.
The Orange Crush intercepted 7 passes and scored a touchdown when Norris Weiss dumped it off to Jim Turner on a fake field goal.
42-yard try by Turner. Ball is down. It's a fake.
And that's one of those kind of plays that come up every 5-10 years probably, and so that was a lot of fun, especially being out in Oakland.
The grand old man has done it.
Anytime you could beat Oakland, particularly out there, that was a great rivalry for us, and we just looked at that as a great game.
And his parents starting to the right.
One of the great memories for the players in that game was when Tom Jackson confronted Raiders head coach John Madden.
He was a thrill to play with. I mean, he was just a spark plug, and he hits Clarence Davis, helmet to helmet. Everybody in the stadium heard it. And I mean, I think he might have knocked him out. It was head to head right on their sideline, and he jumps up and goes running looking for John Madden and said, "How do you like that, fat man?" We were after them so bad, we just wanted to kill them.
After that battle, the Orange Crush defense was receiving national recognition, and maybe no other series of plays represents that group more than when they shut down the Chiefs on 4 plays from the 1.
Handoff is on a reverse. The White.
It got quiet in the huddle. I mean, it was like, what? And I remember I did this, and Smitty said, "Guess what? When they don't score." And hey, man, we held them 4 downs on the 1 and won the ball game.
The Broncos clinched their first ever playoff berth in early December on the road in Houston. And back home, the festivities had kicked off.
The pilot comes over the intercom announcing, that Stapleton's got a lot of fans there, so we didn't know what to really expect. And all of a sudden we get off the plane and Stapleton's just completely covered. I mean, fans all over, crowded, you can't walk, and they are just cheering and cheering.
It was incredible. I could not believe that it was, people were throwing confetti, and it was just, that was one of the greatest homecomings for a team, a non-championship team that I ever seen.
The first time in the history of the Bronco franchise they had ever been in a playoff game.
You knew the '77 season was special when longtime owner Jerry Phipps, a quiet, unassuming man, expressed himself on the sidelines after the first playoff win against Pittsburgh.
Just jumped up and yahoo, and I looked over at Mr. Phipps, Mr. Phipps, real kind of subdued kind of guy, and taking it easy, and all of a sudden he's excited, so, And
that set up the rematch with the Raiders.
Al Davis coming and standing on your sideline before the game. You wanted to run by and clothesline him, sitting there trying to intimidate you. It's the whole aura of that team that makes you want to hate them.
The Broncos beat the Raiders, of course, 2017, and were headed to their first ever Super Bowl.
Something that I think we as a team cherished, being the first ones to accomplish what you're trying to do. I mean, you're trying to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, and to be the first team to actually do that, I mean, it was the highlight. It was everything for us.
Believers now? Do they believe now? Do they believe now?
That was just a real exciting time, going in the locker room, listening to Cloudy Miner, Tom Jackson, Alzado, all running their mouths,
This organization's been down for a long time. The Denver Broncos are now earning the respect of the entire league, and that's what we want. We want to be known as a good team, as a good football team, which we are. And we're going to go on from here, we hope.
The Broncos may have lost to the Cowboys in Super Bowl 12, but Denver fans chanted, "We love you, Broncos," and didn't leave until well after the final gun had sounded.
We looked back, we couldn't believe it. We thought we had let them down. We thought we had let them down. I will never forget that.
You are more than a number in a credit report, more than a balance due, more than unforeseen events. You are a homeowner with a valuable resource many people don't have.
I am a homeowner.
I am a homeowner.
I am a homeowner.
That's why, when financial pressures build, you can call AmeriQuest, the company that helps you use that resource to pay off high-interest credit cards, lower your monthly payments, deal with emergencies, and get cash for important purchases. Our refinancing experts can help you get your loan quickly, easily, and fairly. Call your local AmeriQuest branch now at 1-800-207-2578. You can get an approval in as little as 24 hours, and it costs you nothing to apply. Just one call can save you hundreds of dollars each month. Call AmeriQuest, the company that knows you are more.
It may have been the greatest trade in NFL history. Well, at least for one team, that is. Luckily for Broncos fans, it was their team that pulled off the big deal of the early 80s, bringing a strong-armed, athletic quarterback here to Mile High Stadium. The 80s looked pretty promising after Randy Gradishar picked off a pass and ran 93 yards for a touchdown in Cleveland.
Tommy's blitzing from the outside, and I'm mobiling along over there. I knock the ball down, bounces off Tommy's stomach, and then I run, I get the ball in my hand, and the ref's right there with me, and so he starts taking off, so I knew it was good, and so I just kept running. I was running in front of the Cleveland Browns bench, and one thing I wish I would have done was I didn't have the ball in the right hand, because if I would have got tackled, you can have the ball in your right hand and follow it out to the out-of-bounds line, and I wish I would have waved to the Cleveland Browns players along the way.
4 months later, Edgar Kaiser Jr. bought the team from Jerry and Alan Phipps. He hired Dan Reeves as head coach. Steve Watson became the go-to guy at receiver, and Kaiser was paying close attention to a college quarterback who played for his alma mater.
I knew a lot about his wife-to-be at that time, Janet. And they were just good people, so that you had a person who was going to be level-headed and character.
So a year before the '83 draft, Kaiser started spending some time with Colts owner Bob Irsay, because he knew there would be a good chance they would pick Stanford's John Elway. They did.
He knew that John didn't want to go there, and John did know that we wanted him.
After Baltimore selected Elway, Kaiser went into Reeves' office and called Irsay.
Said, look, I'd like to propose a trade. And he agreed to the trade. He wanted our number one, Chris Hinton.
Plus quarterback Mark Herman and a draft choice.
I went back into the draft room and said, say, Dan, let me talk to you for a minute. And I said, if I could get Elway, you know, for these considerations, would you take him? Well, yeah, sure, of course I'd take him. It'd be great, you know, but we'll never get him for that. And I said, just a minute. So I went back in and said to Bob, okay, I've talked to Coach Reeves. He thinks it's a tough deal, but we'll do it.
I, didn't want to play for the Colts, and, that's in the past. And
You know, I was really glad he was savvy. I think that the relationship that he had with Irsay a long time ago definitely helped him make the trade to get me here to Denver. So I mean, that was definitely you know, worth it, and sure glad that Edgar was able to get that done.
It was the first $1 million contract, a 5-year deal for $1 million a year, and number 7 took care of business in a hurry.
Yeah, I never got off the plane. We signed it before we landed, and they came on the plane. So I actually signed a contract before I ever set foot in Denver.
I right Ray, 74 flare, 16 waggle left, hot right, wing turn in on 2, ready?
His first day in Greeley was unforgettable.
You know, I just was ready to get to camp with all the hubbub and everything that was going on, and I think that, you know, you coming out of college, you really never understand exactly what you're stepping into, and I mean, it was quite the circus when I first got there, and plus the being under the microscope and having people follow me to get my hair cut and all those type of things was definitely new to me, but I think all those experiences in the long run, you know, really helped me get to where I am today, helped me mature quicker, and, you know, especially the tough times that I went through early, I think that definitely made me a lot tougher, that was able to have the career that I had.
In the second game of the season, the Broncos met the Colts in Baltimore.
It's 100 degrees here right now, but that's nothing compared to the temperature in the stands, where 50,000 fans have come to boo John Elway.
The timing was definitely tough, but you know, that was one of those games, and they absolutely kicked my tail that game. I mean, they were all over me, and I think that's when crowd noise started, except they were booing me the whole time, and I couldn't hear in the huddle. And I mean, when Dan finally took me out in the second half and DeBerg went in, I mean, I think everybody left the stadium and it was quiet. Steve ended up bringing us back for a win. So, but that was definitely tough. I mean, nobody wanted to be around me. I remember walking off and the Jack Daniels bottle just barely missed my head. But I knew going in there that I wasn't going to take my hat off, my helmet off the whole day, and I never did.
He's got some time.
Elway made things worse for the Colts later in the season. Baltimore led 19-0 in the fourth quarter before Elway fired 3 touchdown passes to beat the Colts. The win sent the Broncos to the playoffs in Elway's rookie season.
That was huge, and plus, you know, especially when it comes against Baltimore, who, you know, I knew how I was treated when we went to Baltimore, and then to be down 19-0 and be able to come back and have that game that, you know, clinches the playoff spot for us was, especially my rookie year and what I'd gone through. I started awful slow and then was benched for 4 games, and then Steve got hurt and came back in and started to play better. And then that game to finally get us over the hump, get us in the playoffs, I think that there was a lot of gratification that came along with that game.
I'm not involved in football for ego gratification or for the publicity that surrounds it. I'm involved in it for a career.
In '84, Kaiser sold the team to Pat Bowlen. The Broncos won 13 games in the regular season, and in '85, Lewis Wright found out that lightning really does strike twice, especially when you battle the Bolts from San Diego in overtime.
Dan Reese had told somebody to call a timeout, I guess, to ice the kicker, but they lined up for the kick. We're ready to go. They snapped the ball, and Dennis blocked the kick, and I picked it up. And I thought I was going for a touchdown. The referee were blowing the whistle, and they were like, stop. And we're like, what? And so finally, after we huddled up, they said, nope, that play doesn't count. That was a dead play. Somebody called timeout. We're in the huddle. I remember Tom Jackson was like, timeout? Nobody called it. Who called timeout? And from the back of the huddle, the little hand, Mike Harden, I did. He said, well, Dan told me to call timeout, you know? So we're like, oh, shit, that'll never happen. We'll never. But Dennis was in the huddle like, I can do it. I can block it again. I was thinking, okay, well, just in case, I'm kind of going to ease over here just in case the ball bounces. And sure enough, when the ball was snapped, you hear that little thud, that boom, and the ball bounced right to me and went the other way. And like I say, it was overtime, so the game was over with. And it was just incredible that it happened. It's like lightning striking twice in the exact same spot. Dennis blocked it twice, I picked it up twice, and it was an incredible night.
The Broncos went on to play in 3 Super Bowls and lose 3 Super Bowls before the next decade. Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson, and Ricky Nattiel were dubbed the Three Amigos. And the most magical moment of the 80s came in Cleveland in '87 with the Broncos 98 yards away from tying the Browns in the AFC Championship game. Offensive lineman Keith Bishop told his teammates, "We have them right where we want them."
And the Broncos are 98 yards away from where they need to go.
Looking in the huddle, I mean, we're standing there, it's a TV timeout, it was cold, and I think that everybody in the stadium didn't, no one thought we had a chance, and I'm not sure everybody in our huddle thought we had a chance, but, Keith kind of broke the ice with that, and that was key, because I think that's what kind of got us going.
As the first down.
Elway made play after play in the most important and longest drive of his career, but there were some close calls.
Coming across in motion, and it would have killed the drive. Third down, boy, the ball just ricochets right off the thigh and goes right into his hands. Divine providence.
Elway's drop.
The farther we got out of the hole, the farther we got away from our own goal line, the more confidence, we got. And I think that, even when I got sacked and we were 3rd and 19, that, we never thought about not getting it. I think that the way it was happening, it was one of those days that we kind of almost got in the zone on that one drive as a team, and really never thought about not getting it. And as things continued, and as we moved the ball, we gained that much more confidence. And then once we picked up that 3rd and 19, and after that, it was pretty much no one was going to stop us.
It was one of those things that nobody cared who did what. It was just get the job done.
First down, Broncos.
They got the job done. 98 yards in 15 plays, capped off by Elway's bullet to Mark Jackson just before the end of regulation.
Touchdown!
Rich Carless kicked the winner in overtime, and number 7 was now the comeback kid.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense. Finding the ways that work.
Holm, Roberts & Owen. You may know them as a law firm. These kids know it as something else.
It's where the computers came from.
In 1961, J. Church Owen founded the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Denver. Today, kids use its new technology center, a gift from HRO.
It's critical that these young people get the opportunity to understand the technology and be comfortable with it early in their lives.
For more than 100 years, Holm, Roberts & Owen has been helping the Denver community grow through giving.
Give it up.
Give it to the 9 Cares Colorado Shares Music Drive. September 9th is your chance to give back to the arts. From 7 a.m. to noon, we'll be collecting your old instruments for students in Denver. If you have an instrument on this list, we want it. Dig it out of the closet and donate. We'll take them in any condition. Help students in Denver discover the magic of music September 9th at the 9 Cares Colorado Shares Music Drive.
It may have taken almost 40 years, but the Denver Broncos, original members of the American Football League, finally did it. Not once, but twice. 2 world championships as they polished off a decade here at their new facility southeast of Denver.
The Broncos hit the 90s, well, hitting. Crushing hits, thanks to guys like Dennis Smith, Steve Atwater, and Carl Mecklenburg. The Broncos were preparing for a new era. Dan Reeves was let go. Wade Phillips came in for 2 years. And even though Elway was the conference MVP in '93, things weren't looking too good around him.
Well, I guess I always believed that as long as I still playing, I felt like we had an opportunity. I was just hoping that, things will work out. There's a lot of things that have to go your way, and there's a lot of chemistry that has to be there. And I think that I was always hopeful. And, until the legs gave out and I couldn't play anymore, I was going to be hopeful that we were going to eventually get, figure out a way to get a world championship.
Elway knew a good way to start would be hiring former offensive coordinator Mike Shanahan as the head coach.
I had a lot of confidence in Mike and what he could do, especially offensively, and knew that, he had a pretty good concept that to have a great football team, you have to be good in all aspects. Once he got the job, my confidence level went way up, and the fact that I was just hoping I could hang on long enough, because I knew he'd get one. I was just hoping that I was going to be there when he got one.
Shanahan went right to work that spring, drafting a running back out of Georgia in the 6th round named Terrell Davis.
I'd watch him walk, and just the way he walks on his toes, I mean, you could tell that the strength in his legs was just unbelievable, and that, and then he showed the desire on the very, when I think we were in Dallas, and he was on the kickoff team and made 3 of the tackles there. So after that, and then he got to start the first week, and then as soon as you saw that, I mean, you knew that he was going to be a great, great back.
The Broncos went 8-8, and then in '96, 13-3.
He's got it, and he scores. This time he's going to be sacked. Elton, he cracks through the middle, breaks into the back the road. It's caught.
Only to be upset by the Jaguars in round 1 of the playoffs.
Breaks the tackle, 5-yard line. Come into Denver and beaten the Denver Broncos.
1 month later, the Broncos unveiled their new uniforms. They would follow that up the following season by going 12-4. Beating up on Jacksonville, revenge in the wild card game.
Touchdown!
And then going to Kansas City as underdogs.
All the way down to the Kansas City.
When you got winning there in the playoffs, and then winning in Kansas City, which is a difficult place to win at, I think that was definitely the funnest point for me, besides the bowl.
The Broncos beat the Chiefs 14-10, hit the road to Pittsburgh, and stunned the Steelers on their home turf for their 5th AFC championship.
Shocked the world.
So on to San Diego as the underdog again for Super Bowl 32 against the defending world champion Packers.
It was difficult being out there because you see all these green and yellow colors, the Packer colors, and I'm from Wisconsin. I've never seen that many colors back home, so how am I gonna see all these colors out here in San Diego? So that really ticked me off.
March down the field and score first.
Well, the rest of the Broncos were ticked off, too. They matched the Packers on their first drive with a touchdown.
Big sack from Georgia.
And even though Terrell Davis was out most of the second quarter with a migraine, old number 7 kept him in the game.
Across into the end zone, touchdown.
I remember going into that football game, and again, we were heavy underdogs, and my point was, and my thought process was, all I want to do is be in it in the fourth quarter, because we'd never been in a Super Bowl in the fourth quarter.
Denver's offense is coming to life here in the third quarter.
It was in the third quarter that Elway ran for the most important first down of his career.
20 time for John, now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elway can run.
15 years in the league, and still sacrificing his body in the biggest game of his life.
Head first, he dives!
That's probably the most adrenaline I'd ever had flown in my life. When I got up and knew that I got the first down, I'd never had such a rush in my life, knowing that I'd got that first down.
My goodness, he died!
I'd kind of argued with Mike and Gary the whole week about that one play, and they said, well, we wouldn't get that defense, and sure enough, we got that play. And
you want to tell me the 37-year-old man doesn't want to win this?
So I think a combination of that, also getting the first down, and the way it happened with them thinking I'm going low and maybe I'll go over the top was pretty invigorating.
In the fourth, there was the defense. the offensive line, and that 6th-round pick out of Georgia manhandling the package.
Davis running to the left side, cuts it up across the 20.
Terrell Davis running for 157 yards and a Super Bowl record 3 touchdowns. He was the game's MVP. And the Broncos won their first Super Bowl title after 38 years of existence.
This will be the sweetest kneel down in John Elway.
Having been here for so long and knowing the fans here and how bad they wanted a world championship, that, even though when I looked at out to San Diego and looked at one section where most of the Bronco fans were, I could really kind of look through and see downtown Denver and seeing everybody. And
you can stand up and salute in Denver.
I think the greatest asset that Denver Broncos have are their fans. And they hung in there for a long, long time. They could have packed their bags and turned their backs on us for many years ago, but I mean, they've been in here since 1960, so they were well deserving, and really felt like when I hoisted that trophy that everybody shared.
Thank you.
650,000 Bronco fans packed the city streets 2 days later for a victory parade in celebration at the City and County building downtown.
How about them Broncos?
The Broncos have a sociological role in Denver that is unmatched almost anywhere. The Broncos are a religion, and I do not say this as a disparaging remark to other teams in the city at all that we wish well to and then do very, very well. But the Broncos are a religious experience for the fans, and we all know this.
Elway decided to come back for one more, his 16th season. And in October, Jason Elam kicked off a season of record-setting performances, tying a 28-year-old NFL record with that 63-yarder against the Jaguars.
63!
In November, Elway eclipsed the 50,000-yard passing mark.
And everybody here at Mile High Stadium is on their feet.
And they weren't done yet. The Broncos would tie an NFL record with 18 straight wins, postseason and regular season combined. They came one win away from tying the NFL record of 14 straight in the regular season, and Davis became only the 4th player ever to rush for 2,000 yards in a season.
There it is, Terrell Davis.
The great thing about it was that no one focused on just the records. It was all about trying to win games, and then in the process, here we are doing all these individual things, which I thought were great.
The Broncos finished 14-2, moving on to the AFC Championship after the defense just dominated the Dolphins.
Handoff and hit in the backfield for not much gain.
Holding Miami to just 14 yards rushing in round 1.
God's last game. We're going to send them out in style.
But they found themselves in a hole in the title game, trailing the Jets in the 3rd 10-0.
Wasn't running well, obviously. I dropped a pitch. And it seemed to be contagious throughout the team, and that was something we had to get out soon. It was like, you had to get this out now.
Throws, pass over the middle, caught. Howard Griffith is goal line.
Well, led by Elway, Ed McCaffrey, Howard Griffith, and the defense, the Broncos scored 23 points in the second half to earn another trip back to the bowl. And Elway took his final trip around Mile High as a Bronco.
I mean, that was a great experience, something I'll never forget. But again, the grand satisfaction for me, as well as I'm sure the fans, was when we were able to win that game in Miami.
Ironically, it would be a meeting against their former head coach, Dan Reeves, and his Atlanta Falcons in Super Bowl 33 down in Miami.
Yeah, no doubt I'm ready. Gotta go back-to-back, man.
I think it helps the Broncos were here last year. I think the Falcons will come out with a lot of emotion.
And we were down there for one thing, and that was to win the game.
Romanowski's got him, and down he goes at the 17.
Up 10-3 in the second, Elway would hit Rod Smith for an 80-yard strike.
Throws down deep the middle of the field. Rod Smith's got it. Here we go. 30, 20.
Elway, of course, leaving Miami with not only the Super Bowl trophy, but MVP honors, throwing for 336 yards. 1 touchdown in the air, 1 on the ground. And the living legend left the game on top.
It's always really hard to take that final little step, when you've done something for your whole life. And I wanted to be 29 again and be able to play for the rest of my life, but knew that at that point in time, it was the right time for me to step away.
So John Elway left the NFL with 2 Super Bowl titles, leaving a little something for Bronco fans in the process.
And they are world champions once again.